Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So we move on to the third verse in the 19th chapter. This has been dealt to a group of sadhakas from India in a brief manner. We will go further into that today. Kva bhūtaṃ, kva bhaviṣyadvā, vartamānamapi kva vā, kva deśaḥ, kva ca vā nityaṃ, svamahimni sthitasya me. Where is the past? Where is the future? Where even is the present? Where is the space? Kva-deśaḥ. Where even is eternity for me? Kva-ca-vā nityaṃ. Who is abiding in my own grandeur of self? Svamahimni sthitasya me. There are several verses in the chapter. It's not a big chapter. Ending with this. Svamahimni. Dealt in detail in Chandogya Upanishad. We will see as we proceed. Let us first listen to what Chinmaya says and then we move on from there. He explains in detail with reference to the time factor and the space factor, because past, present, future, they are all relevant in the realm of time space. If there is no time space, there is no past, no present, no future, right? So Chinmaya says, time and space are really the concepts of the mind and intellect. Where the mind intellect is not functioning as in deep sleep, the individual has no such measurements in his experience. Time and its duration are as much the creation of the human mind as the concept of space and its distances. Distances are measured in space between the two relative points, point A and point B. Let us see. From A to B, the distance may be any linear measurement, but in all these cases, we know that at point A, the distance is always 0, whatever be the distance measured at point B. So, While explaining Deshakala Vastu Parichhedarahita in the Purusha Suktam session way back, he quoted Brother Rai's moving us towards the front, and said that if there is no space at all, there is no movement from one space to another space. Okay. And how beautifully Chinmaya and many other masters have reiterated this, that as much as ultimately we come to the conclusion through Gaudapada's Ajatavada that the creation is never born, so logically, if we are convinced at Mananam stage after various commentaries of Gaudapada that the creation is never there in that ultimate transcendental state, then definitely we can also be convinced that this time, and as much as creation has never been created by God, this is the ultimate, not to get confused. You live with the fact as of now that the creation is there, and find out ways and means through sadhana how to go beyond the creation. This truth of Gaudapada is valid only after you have really experienced the transcendental state beyond the creation in your meditation. Till that time, live with creation. But once you are able to experience that state beyond the creation, there is no Muscat, there is no Alkuver, there is no Kuram Gubra, Azaiba, and there is no Gulf Middle East, there is no subcontinent, there is nothing, no solar system, nothing beyond. When you reach, and then you come down, then you can relate with the Gaudapada's philosophy that yes, if I am able to exist in that state 24/7, as all the masters would have existed even while living in the world, then the creation is not there at all. So, as much as the creation is not there, obviously creation is always in the realm of time space. So time space is also not there. So what Chinmaya says, time and space are all concepts of the mind. There is no time space. Since there is no time space, kala atitaya, so therefore there is no creation. Creation has to be in the realm of time space. There is no other way for the creation to be experienced. And he gives by examples, we will skip that. In the seeker who has transcended his mind, there can be no thoughts, and therefore the concept of both time and space cannot be in him when he is abiding beyond his mind in the self. In time, the mind again entertains the illusory ideas of the past, present, future, which is the subject matter of today's verse. In the self, these illusions can have no valid existence. For one who has thus transcended the concepts of both time and space, the very idea of eternity also, eternity, nityaṃ, satyam, with reference to time and space. Just like we say a shade under a banyan tree, a shade is with reference to the heat outside. So nityaṃ or eternity is with reference to something which is not eternal, which is ephemeral. Once you have transcended the ephemeral, there is no eternity even for you. Kvacava nityaṃ. On transcending the mind, Janaka confesses he has arrived at a realm of experience where The world of plurality cannot come to play, as it has not got the time-space framework for the names and forms to exist. We will move on from here. Time. Glide with him so that the subject doesn't appear abstract. Just live in whatever he is pouring. Just live. If there are thought patterns going on in us related to our artha, karma, dharma, in the backdrop of ego, what is ego? In the backdrop of the apparent understanding that I am this jiva, only the jiva has artha, kama, dharma. Okay, in the backdrop of the ego is equal to jiva. Then there would be disruption of the infinite self state every now and then. And next, when there is disturbance in the state of self, ego would crop up. And it is ego that goes into past, broods over unfulfilled expectations in the past and the present, and the plans for fulfilling these undesired fulfillments in the future. It is all the play of ego. Just relate to it, how your identity as jiva is making you going to the past, thinking about some plans for the present and thinking about future. It is very easy. You can very easily relate to this day in and day out. Suppose when one exists closer to self, which is absolute tranquility today, and one is not able to continue that state and exists as non-self or agitated tomorrow, then there is a past for me when I might have existed peacefully, if not as self, okay, peacefully, the tranquil I-minded exit. That tranquility got disturbed today. So there is a time factor which has come between the tranquil mind and the not tranquil mind. The tranquil mind has become the past. The agitated mind has become the present. When there are thought patterns of what happened yesterday and thought patterns of what is happening today, then the mind conveys to me that yesterday was past and today is present. Just think of it. We went through umpteen number of times in Nirvana Shatakam, aham bhojanam na bhojyam na bhokta. Okay. Experiencer, experienced object, and the process of experience. Let us put it this way. Observer, I am the observer subject. Okay. Bhokta. And the appearance, all the appearance in this creation, all beings, etc., etc., they are all the observed or bhojanam. I am the subject observer and all other things are the objects of my observation. By itself, this has no relevance. Why? Conclusively, why he can say? Because Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or Sri Ramana Maharishi or Shivanandaji Maharaj, Anandamayi Ma, Guru Yukteswar, Paramahamsa Yogananda, and few more, they would have ever existed as observers, and the objects of experience, the objects, various objects must have been there for them as much as it is for you and me. But they got no experience of the outside objects. So, merely the subject and the object by themselves cannot have any relevance unless there is a connecting factor between the subject and the object. And the subject and the connecting factor between the subject and the object is time space. They existed beyond the realm of time space. So the objects, appearance of all the objects could not bring any chanchalata in them, could not bring any change in them. For you and me, time space, we live in time space very much. So everything in this creation affects us. This also you can relate once when you go back and think about it and listen again. Very easy, not abstract. Without this third link being intimately connected with the observer and the observed, it cannot become a link. The third element, time space, is connected both with the object that is observed and the observing consciousness. It is on account of this double activity of the presence called space-time that perception or awareness of the objects outside becomes possible. The observer subject, I am also in the realm of time space. All the other objects are also in the realm of time space, so the connectivity is established. I am also a resident of Palakkad in such and such street, Agraharam, such this thing. You are also the resident of the same Agraharam street and this thing, two houses just near me, the connection is there. Both are in the same place, both have some common reference, the connection is established. Similarly, I also live in the time space, you also live all the objects are also in the realm of time space, though the time space connects the observer and brings in a disturbance, a wave in the consciousness. If me, the pure consciousness, due to my ignorance, come down and know myself as the subject seeing and perceiving the objects, then there is a past, there is a present, there is a future for me with respect to this creation, with respect to time space. Something experienced in the past time space, something experiencing in present time space, something I am imagining that I will experience in the future time space. Everywhere time space gets connected. But if possible, glide along with Acharya. Whatever he says, you think it is valid for you and you immediately glide. Try your level best. My eyes are closed. Often to cut off from my thought pattern the subtler aspect of deep breath, pranayama, inhaling, exhaling. The subtler aspect is that when the eyes close and I take a deep breath, with the deep breath, I am able to cut off my thought pattern and momentarily go beyond the thought pattern. So I take a deep breath and take in and allow time before exhaling. Stay there. Now there is no thought conveying to me about my past, present, and future. In that gap between the deep breath concluded and the exhaling not happened, in that time at least, even living moment to moment expression goes, because moment to moment has the backdrop of time. Moment is a measurement of time. So, can I say, even as a sadhaka aspiring for that subjective experience, at least when I have taken a deep breath in the morning hours when fresh disturbance of the day has not started, can I say that instead of moment to moment, can I say that I am existing ease to ease, or existence to existence? Pure. Objects might be continuing to be in time space, but when at least for few seconds I exist as the isness or the pure existence, I have risen above time space. So for me, in those few seconds, there is no creation, and most important, there is no time space. And I can open my eyes and say that yes, in that those few seconds, there was no past, present, future for me. We move on. Swami Rama writes, the nature of reality is a game of hide and seek, which is really the only game there is. Now you see it and now you don't. That which smiles through all faces is only one reality, and the same one is called one without a second, ekam eva advitiyam. There is only one that exists beneath all the forms of the world. there is only one. Here, there, everywhere, incomparable, changeless, and everlasting. It is said that as long as there exists the sense of duality, there has to be a space. Along with that, there has to be a time. These bind one under certain conditions, and that is why there is fear, agony, and pain. It is important to know the three conditionings of the mind: time, space, and causation. You are afraid of someone because you acknowledge the existence of someone as different from you, correct? If there is only one, who will be afraid of whom? When all desired are swallowed by only one wave, and when that wave alone exists, then for that wave, that existence as wave, there will be no time, no space, no causation. Time space causation prevent you from realizing the unity in diversity. The secrets of birth and death are revealed only to a fortunate few. It is a rare person who can lift the veil, our veil of time space causation, and then know that past, present, future are but commas and semicolons in a long sentence without a period. Unquote. Now let us look at past, present, future in more relatable terms. Past. Being in past means vasanas, impressions of experience gained in the past, which are there because of only one factor. The ego was there and the ego is here. So the experience continues. What all kinds of experiences, to take a few? It could be a desire fulfillment. It could be a desire not fulfilled. Good or bad experience from dear and near ones, or bad experience from one whom we have not liked. He's not using the word hate, he cannot use that. While there could be numerous experiences, the root cause is some experience to the ego is equal to jiva, which is stored as impression vasanas, retrieved by the same ego is equal to jiva. All experiences, good or bad, of some fulfillment or some non-fulfillment keeps lingering as vasanas, which makes up our past. Right? There is no difficulty in understanding this. You just think of the past. What past you are thinking? Any past thought which comes to you while you are driving back or while you are sitting on listening again, you can relate that past experience was for my ego, and it is my ego who is retrieving, and that lingering is going on. Present means present desires, present thoughts based on the same ego is equal to jiva. It could be both. It could be any thought vritti based on the vasanas, past impressions, or fresh vritti with no background of vasanas. Here also the main factor is that The present is for jiva is equal to ego. When he says ego, if we go more deeper into ego, even when he says ego, that means avidya, asmita are there 100% there. Okay. With this ego, his present is lit up due to any of the next three kleshas, raga, dvesha, adhinivesha, more of raga, dvesha. They can further manifest as vikaras, kama, krodha, lobha, etc. When we talk of new, not with respect to the past impressions, it is raga or dvesha present fresh with new, no vasanas. Existing with reference to our family, our friends, our some events, experiences, etc., which are lingering now also and stretching to the present. Future is the combination of both the above. Expected future experience, expected future desire fulfillment based on past vasanas plus present ego. Expected future based on past experience. If this is possible, if I am existing with ego now, then only there can be a future for it. Some practical examples. While he lived in Bhavadharini, if at all he lived in the realm of time space, and if at all he lived as jiva is equal to ego, then what all future expectations would come based on the past impressions? I drove a BM 740 M Sports. I would like to have the same level, past vasana leading to future expected experience. I lived in a very decent house in Muscat. I would like to, if at all, first of all, the first point is that I had a very good quality of life in Muscat. So I am desperate. I want to return to Muscat. So I want to see my future in Muscat. Then Muscat. Then I need the same car. I need the same similar kind of posh, decent house, spacious house. I worked as a CEO. I expect to work at the similar highest level in the future. I had a group of close friends. He did not have, but just telling. Had a group of close friends. Expect to re-establish the same connections upon getting back to Muscat. I had bad experiences from some people. I would never ever even see them. I will stay away from them. All these future thoughts about the future based on the past happening and the linking factor between the two are two things, time, space, and ego. The list could be endless. Any future thought you are having will be 95% which will be fueled by your past vasanas. 90%. Very few cases related to sadhana, related to aspiration for realization and this path. Very few exceptions are there where you can have a future vision with no past vasanas. It could also be without vasanas. As a present happening, present kleshas, present ego experience, present vikaras, expecting something have to happen in future. It could be with no past vasanas. Present experiences which are waiting to get stored in your chitta as vasanas. But then, and just as he told now, I want to pursue something absolutely new in my life. Spiritual, professional, personal, something new. Here there are no vasanas. Okay, that is also possible. But again, whatever, without vasanas, with vasanas, without vikaras, with vikaras, without past, without present, whatever, any future thoughts, any thoughts about the future is in the backdrop of jiva is equal to ego. The jiva is equal to ego lifelong. Here Janaka starts this chapter with the announcement that all his doubts, do you remember? All my doubts are cleared and I have reached the final destination, self. Only when one exists as and in Janaka state as infinite self, 24/7, one can realize how past, present, future is not relevant for him. In his abidance as self, 24/7. Essentially, no ego means no past vasanas, no present due to past vasanas or impact of fresh kleshas, no future based on present past vasanas or fresh kleshas, vikaras, and expecting something to happen in future. Concluding truth, no ego, no identity as individual jiva. If you are able to exist in your nididhyasana, in the seat of meditation, without this jivahood identity for 5 minutes, you can take in writing in blank paper from your acharya. In those 5 minutes, there can be no past, no present, no future for you. Signed, sealed, delivered. 100%. One may say, this was added yesterday evening, Master, present would always be there. Na? How present can be ignored? Answer. Ramana's famous approach. Who is asking this question? Who is there to realize that I am existing in present? I am existing moment to moment, etc. Even if a thought of present comes, it has to be in the realm of present time, present space only. Janaka has transcended the realm of time, space, causation, and hence there is not even present or there is not even moment to moment life existing for him. And there is no moment to moment, there is no present either for any Jivan Mukta who has crossed the ocean of samsara. Kvachava nityaṃ, beyond eternity, new thing. We have not dealt with this till now. Beyond nityaṃ. In the Guru Gita, which is also chanted he hopes it is getting chanted now also in the month Archanas at devotees' houses. We chant this Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam. You remember? In that, Nityam means the one who never changes under any circumstances. The sun and the moon move and change. But that one person who has transcended the realm of time space, he does not change. Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam. Everything changes. It is only this self that doesn't change. Why? How? The Mula Mantra given to core sadhakas, and also not that it was just given just like that, which was dealt in 2 sessions before in the Rama Rasayana. There is no change for him because his existence as self is beginningless, middleless, endless. Svamahimni. This was given in a very short manner in last verse 1 or verse 2. Satsang of Ashtavakra Gita, 19th chapter. Let us go through the exact question and answer between Sanat Kumara, who is Guru of Narada. Do you want to know what completeness is? And do you want to know what finitude is? Here is the definition, says Sanat Kumara. Where one sees nothing except one's own self. Where one hears nothing except one's own self. Where one understands nothing except one's own self. That is bhūtaṃ, the absolute. And where one sees something outside oneself, where one hears something outside oneself, where one understands or thinks something outside oneself, that is finite. This is the clear definition of completeness, and on opposite of completeness, finitude. So here is the whole matter clinched in a single sentence. Some Acharya is writing this, describing what is fullness and what is not fullness. What is immortal is the bhūtaṃ alone, and what you call mortal is perishable, is the finite. Oh Master, Narada is asking, where is the bhūtaṃ situated? Which place? Asks Narada. Now he comes to, in the Chandogya Upanishad, svamahimni. Exact this expression is there in this verse, Sanskrit verse. It is situated in its own glory. Well, or perhaps it has no situation at all. Situation has to be in the realm of space, time space. It has no situation at all, replies the master. It cannot be held, it cannot be that it is located in something else, that it is dependent on something else, and it has something else as its support. Just as we have some support or the other in the world, how can the all being be supported by something else? One which is complete in itself, how can it be supported by something else? It is the support of all the things. Its support is its own self. Svamahimni sthitasya me. Its support is its own self. how can we leave any satsang without referring to the gospel of the sage from the Anandakurti? He says, we are told that the supreme, ultimate, divine reality baffles thought, reasoning, and human language. It is transcendental, beyond space time, and it is unmanifest. But how can we, normal jivas, bound up in a consciousness limited and confined by time and space factors, depending solely upon inner instrument made of mind and intellect? We can never go beyond our mind and intellect. How can we ever hope, ever have the possibility of comprehending that great reality? He or that being imponderable, it would seem to be impossible. Nevertheless, sages giving the answer, those who have scaled the tremendous heights of the realization of the absolute have discovered, when they have come down from the superconsciousness and transcendental experience, that another facet of this great reality exists. And this has been a discovery so great, so wonderful, that it would be the greatest thing to grasp it, live in the truth, and base our sadhana upon that truth. It would make a revolutionary change in the quality of your spiritual life. The second facet that they experience after coming down from that transcendental super consciousness state, the second facet that they experience, that which overwhelmed them, they have the rishis of the yore, the realized masters, they have shared with us. It is the truth that the supreme almighty God, the absolute being, who is absolute, unfathomable, and beyond mind and intellect, is at the same time manifest in the relative and finite dimension too. Otherwise, there would be no possibility of our spiritual quest, our aspiration, our realization. All this would be impossible. What is he saying? If there were no realized masters, no rishis who took the divine mission of transmitting what they experienced through some finite expressions, which came to be known as Upanishads, Shrutis, and also the lineage of the masters, the Guru Shishya Parampara, where spiritual masters are continuing to share that transcendental state. It would be impossible for us to even imagine that such state is existing, and reaching that state is possible. This is one. Second, which perhaps only few other than Shivanandaji Maharaj would have given to us, the second facet, is most encouraging. What he's saying is that do not disregard time space, do not disregard the creation, do not develop a total negative detachment towards the creation, Because when I tell you the truth of my superconscious existence, it is possible for you, living very much in the realm of time space, living very much in the creation, also to experience that state for fraction of seconds or minutes. If the realm of time space and creation is so much wrong, so much unreal, to be negated, to be given up, to be totally kept apart, then in that realm of time space creation, it would be never possible for you to experience what I am telling as my experience or that experience. So a second facet, beautiful facet, he has clearly given Shivananda. It is so wonderful that it is possible for every jiva is equal to ego also existing in the realm of time space, existing very much in the creation also, to meditate, existing in the realm of time space creation, to ultimately transcend the realm of time space creation, and to ultimately go beyond past, present, and future. So there is nothing wrong about the time space creation, because as he started the discourse in the initial stage itself, he told, even the time space is the creation of your mind only. Withdraw your mind, go inward, take intense nityaṃ on all the truth which have been, single truth which have been given in all the pores so far, and get into a never before nityaṃ. You would realize that hitherto, till yesterday, till today morning, before sitting for this nityaṃ, it was my mind which had created this time space for me. See, now I have transcended, and not even transcended, I am existing in that state which my master has explained to you, with all the pain, with all the efforts from April, May 2011 onwards, and much before that in a subtler manner through the Samarpan Bhajans from 2006 onwards. In the Jaya Shankara Bhajan, it has been given in elaborate yet subtler terms. So many bhajans, especially from series 4 onwards, because series 4 onwards started towards the end of the 2010, when whatever had to be happened to him had happened. Listen to the Bhavadharini talk, listen to the Jaya Shankara talk, listen to so many. Even listen to the Bhakti Rasa talks, the Rasa Leela related talks in the Krishna bhajans. From there onwards till now, my master has been giving me only one state, one single ekam eva advitiyam state, in so many thousands of different dimensions, different approaches, different routes, aiming at the same single truth, single destination. If ever I am able to experience that truth in the seat of my meditation, I would know convincingly beyond any sankalpa vikalpa that it was me who was creating this time space, my mind, all. Okay, the key example, 1,000 times elaborated key example of Swami. Okay, you turn the key outward, the world is there. You keep the turn inward, there is no. Even existing in the realm of time space, even existing very much in the creation, even today existing very much as Jiva is equal to ego, it is possible because in the East there are masters who have lived as Jivas and have attained mukti and have existed as Jivan Muktas or even Videha Muktas. Solid proof is there in our Punya Bharat of masters who have existed in the realm of time space creation and have transcended at one point of time. It did not happen and on that one single day, single moment. It was as a result of sadhana in countless births, including the current. Like that Swamiji in Rishikesh told, प्रभु जी माया को समझने की कोशिश मत कीजिए, माया पे तर्क ना करें आप माया से ऊपर उठ जाएं. It applies here also. Don't debate about Maya, and here don't debate about time space realm. Don't debate about past, present, future. Don't debate or negate or criticize or develop a detachment, negative detachment towards creation. Transcend time space. Transcend. Once you have transcended time space, transcending past, present, future is guaranteed. Like in the expression, no beginningless, middleless, endless, he told, you just achieve the beginningless. Middleless, endless is guaranteed. Okay. Through your meditation, through the process of your meditation, transcend the realm of time space. There will be no past, no present, no future, not even any nityaṃ, no space, na deśaḥ. Because svamahimni, you will be, yourself is the support of your existence. You will be abiding in and as self. Svamahimni sthitasya. So you rise to that state one day with your acute mumukshatva, absolute mumukshatva, to reach. Every time he says this, 1,000th time or maybe 1,000,000th time, his heart swells with love and compassion for few of you. And when he says you raise, you evolve in your mumukshatva, you reach that state, in his compassion and in his boundless love, he is fresh 1 millionth time when he is going to state this, the penultimate time when he has stated this, and up to the penultimate time you have not reached there, still in the 1 millionth time, like nunyaṃ, like new expression emerging for the first time, with exuberance, with enthusiasm, with spirit lit up, and with compassion and love lit up. He says this with a newfound hope that you will reach there one day. He is ever positive. He is ever hopeful, because it is the compassion and love which is changeless. How you are going to respond is your mumukshadvā combined with your prarabdha. Even mumukshadvā can even transcend the prarabdha karma, because whatever is happening to you due to your prarabdha karma, your mind not getting into sadhana, which you may say is your prarabdha karma, even that can be killed, even that can be ruled out with acute purushartha. The more acute prarabdha karma is, one shade more has to be the acuteness of your purushartha. So he would wait till he breathes his last for you to come up to him and whisper in his ears, "Kva bhūtaṃ, kva bhaviṣyadvā, vartamānamapi kva deśaḥ, kva nityaṃ, svamahimni sthitasya me." The sage ends his writing with an assurance to lift us, suddenly lift us to the highest realm. What these great men of wisdom discovered was that this transcendental being beyond time and space, when manifest in time space, is what? What is this? He's repeating. What these great men of wisdom discovered was that this transcendental being beyond time space, but when that transcendental being is manifesting in time space, is let us build up the suspense. Is what is you, you. That transcendental being is you, though you may be existing in the realm of time space. Ponder this. Transcending time and space, it is that Brahman. When that same Brahman is manifest in time space, that great Brahman is you yourself, the pure consciousness. Each moment you are not realizing, you are only playing a hide and seek game. You are running away from your real, true existence as that transcendental being, though living and existing in the realm of time and space. When even while you physically exist in the realm of time and space, you are that Brahman, tat tvam asi. Nay, tell to yourself. Why Acharya should say tat tvam asi? Tell to yourself, as he changed this Mahavakya expression, aham tat asi. If and only if you reach that state one day in this birth or next birth or some birth, then only the last expression is relevant. Svamahimni sthitasya. And then after that, there will be silence. And that after that, there will be beyond the silence, where the initial three expressions are not. The initial three expressions are for mananam and nididhyasanam. In that sthitasya me, as self, the other expressions that there is no past, no present, no future for me, no eternity for me, no deśaḥ for me, all these are not. At least imagine how beautiful, how wonderful that state would be. Even in the path of bhakti, to exist as Krishna, as Sai. No prefix, no suffix, no strings attached, no ifs and buts, just exist as Krishna, as Sai. Let somebody, if he has to say or she has to say before your death, if they want to say, let them say, for you, there is no past, present, and future. You have transcended that state of expressing that you have no past, present, and future. You have transcended the realm of time, space, and causation. You have transcended creation. You have transcended the four Mahavakyas. You have transcended the awareness of awareness. Or in the path of bhakti, you have transcended the duality between you and Bhagavan. You have transcended even the thought that I have merged in Bhagavan. When on the next day morning, when only Meera's chunari was found enveloping Krishna's flute, there was no Meera there to say that I have merged with Krishna. Neither was there Krishna to say that my bhakta has merged in me. Can there be any other purpose of this birth other than this? Let the arthakama continue, let the duties continue, let everything continue. But can't we withdraw ourselves? Can't we get inward and take up the sadhana in the path of bhakti or in the path of jnana with a newfound conviction, unshakable conviction, mokshatva, that this svamahimni sthitasya me is my goal and it is the only goal. He has been pleading, prostrating. How many times in the Samarpan Bhajan he has told, think in the bhava, think that children, brothers, sisters, old people, all of them think at least as in bhava that I am stood up and I am walking up to you and sashtanga namaskaram. I am prostrating to you, touching your feet. Take up sadhana. He'll keep doing because that is what Swami has ordained him in this mission. He will keep prostrating, he will keep pleading, he will keep requesting. Rest. Hari Om. That's it.